Welcome, dear listener, and welcome back to Sam's Sleepy Adventures, a place where you can drift off gently while exploring some of the world's most beautiful places. Tonight, we're traveling somewhere warm, somewhere historic, somewhere full of soft colors, glowing sunsets, quiet piazzas, and food that feels like comfort itself. Tonight, we're drifting through Italy. Before we settle in, I invite you, just for a moment, to take a slow breath and let your body loosen, like soft fabric falling onto a bed. And if you'd like, you can share in the comments where in the world you're listening from and what time it is for you right now. It's always magical seeing how many different places come together in this quiet little corner of the night. And if you enjoy these calm, dreamy journeys, you're always welcome to subscribe so you can drift off with a new sleepy adventure whenever you need one. But for now, let's leave the present behind and wander somewhere older, somewhere slower, a place shaped by centuries of art, stories, and gentle Mediterranean light. Let us begin with Fact 50, which drifts in like the warm air of an Italian evening. Italy is home to more UNESCO World Heritage Sites than any other country on Earth. Ancient ruins, historic city centers, glorious basilicas, coastal villages, and landscapes so precious. They are protected for the world to enjoy. It means that almost everywhere you wander, you're surrounded by layers of history, quietly breathing beneath your footsteps. Fact 49 arrives with the soft sound of running water. Rome's fountains, over 2,000 of them, are scattered through tiny squares, shaded alleys, and grand piazzas. Their water has flowed for centuries, fed by ancient aqueducts that still carry mountain springs into the heart of the city. Even today, locals refill their bottles at the public fountains, drinking the same cool water Romans enjoyed thousands of years ago. And drifting gently along, Fact 48 glows with a warm golden color. Italy invented the aperitivo, a quiet ritual at the end of the day, where people gather for a light drink and a few small snacks before dinner. It isn't rushed, it isn't loud, it's a pause, a chance to enjoy the moment, to breathe, to unwind, to watch the sun slip behind terracotta rooftops. A perfect way to slow the thoughts as sleep begins to settle in. Fact 47 appears with the rich smell of fresh bread. Italy has hundreds of regional breads, each one rooted in its own tiny corner of the country. Crisp focaccia from Liguria, bread rings from Puglia, Soft, fluffy loaves from Tuscany. Simple, humble, comforting. Every village, every bakery has its own tradition, its own recipe passed down through stories rather than books. The kind of food that warms the heart as much as the body. Now fact 46 brings a gentle hush. Italy is dotted with quiet medieval towns, perched on hilltops. Places like San Gimignano, Civita di Bagnoregio Assisi, and Volterra. Their narrow stone streets wind softly between homes that glow amber at night. No cars, no noise, just footsteps on cobblestone and the sound of distant church bells echoing through the hills. These towns feel like stepping into a dream made of stillness and old stone. With fact 45, we drift south to something fiery but fascinating. Italy is home to Europe's three most active volcanoes: Etna, Stromboli, and Vesuvius. But despite their power, they are watched calmly, carefully, and respectfully by scientists and residents alike. Volcanoes shaped the land, gave fertility to the soil, and influenced the early mythology of the region. Even today, from a safe distance, you can watch Stromboli's soft nightly eruptions, glowing against the dark horizon, like nature's gentle heartbeat. Act 44 arrives on a soft wave. Italy has over 7,500 kilometers of coastline, from the rocky cliffs of Amalfi to the sandy beaches of Sardinia, to the slow, sparkling waters of Sicily. The Mediterranean moves gently here, not pushing, not rushing, just rolling in with rhythmic calm. Many seaside towns sleep early, their lights reflecting in the water, as fishing boats sway quietly through the night. And now, quiet and graceful, fact 43 glides in. Venice, that floating city, is built entirely on water, supported by millions of ancient wooden pillars, driven deep into the mud centuries ago. The wood, preserved by the salt and lack of oxygen, has become strong like stone. Gondolas slip silently through narrow canals, their oars dipping into water as softly as a sigh. Even the air feels slower in Venice, as though time itself moves more gently over water. Fact 42 rustles with the scent of olive trees. Italy produces some of the world's best olive oil, and many groves are hundreds of years old. Their twisted trunks shaped by seasons, storms, and sunshine. The harvest is still done mostly by hand, with nets spread beneath the branches to catch the falling fruit. It's peaceful work, slow, steady, connected to the land. Fact 41 brings warmth like a bakery in the morning. Pizza, born in Naples, was once a simple street food enjoyed by workers. Just dough, tomatoes, and cheese. Today, it's protected by law in Italy. To be a true Neapolitan pizza, it must be cooked in a wood-fired oven, hot and fast developing tiny charred spots known as leoparding. The smell of a fresh pizza in Naples is enough to make anyone sigh with contentment. And with fact 40, a gentle breeze flows through vineyards. Italy is one of the world's oldest wine regions, cultivating grapes since ancient Roman times. Some families have made wine for generations, tending vines that grow on rolling hills, bathed in golden light. During harvest, villages fill with soft laughter the sound of grapes being pressed and the sweet smell of fermenting fruit. It is a slow, seasonal rhythm that shapes entire communities. Fact 39 arrives wrapped in a warm, comforting aroma. Italy is the birthplace of espresso. Rich, dark, concentrated coffee, served in tiny cups that deliver a moment of pure pleasure. Bars across Italy open early, welcoming people with the hiss of espresso machines and the gentle clink of porcelain cups. It's not just a drink, it's a ritual, a small pause in the morning to breathe, think, and prepare for the day. Fact 38. Brushes past like a fragment of music. Italy gave the world opera. Dramatic stories told through powerful, soaring voices. But in small Italian towns, opera also appears in quieter ways. Street musicians, open-air concerts, and old songs passed down through families. The music echoes off stone walls and drifts through night air like a lullaby from long ago. With fact 37, we move gently into Italy's artistic heart. The country is home to more masterpieces than almost any nation on earth. Michelangelo, Da Vinci, Caravaggio, Botticelli, their work fills churches and museums that feel more like sanctuaries than galleries. Soft footsteps, whispers, and sunlight falling across marble sculptures create an atmosphere of quiet wonder. Fact 36 glows like a candle at dusk. Italy's tradition of making handmade candles, especially in regions like Tuscany and Umbria, goes back centuries. Some small shops still craft candles the old way, slowly dipping wicks into warm wax, one layer at a time, until they grow thick and smooth. The finished candles smell faintly of honey and herbs, gentle scents perfect for calm nights. And finally, for this first part of our journey, we settle onto fact 35, which feels like walking through a soft, fragrant garden. Italy is home to some of Europe's most beautiful botanical gardens, from the lush gardens around Lake Como to the peaceful greenery in Florence. Tall cypress trees, roses climbing over ancient walls, ponds shimmering in afternoon light. These gardens were designed for wandering, slowly letting thoughts drift freely and breathing in the sweetness of nature. As we continue drifting through Italy, let your body grow a little heavier. Let your breathing soften and allow the images of this beautiful country to float through your thoughts like warm evening air. Italy is a place shaped by centuries of craft stories and gentle Mediterranean light. And the deeper we wander, the quieter and calmer everything begins to feel. Now, fact 34 approaches softly, like footsteps in a quiet cloister. Italy is home to some of the world's oldest universities. Bologna, founded in 1088, still stands as a center of learning, its archways worn smooth by nearly 1,000 years of scholars passing beneath them. Walking through its old halls feels like being wrapped in the whispers of generations who studied, debated, and dreamed. There's a deep, calming steadiness in that kind of place, a reminder that knowledge, like stone, endures quietly through time. Fact 33 brings with it the comforting sound of bubbling pots and clinking spoons. Italy's regional cuisines are incredibly diverse, so much so that traveling from one region to another can feel like stepping into a different food culture entirely. Risotto in the north, fresh seafood along the coasts, rich ragu simmered for hours in Emilia-Romagna, simple tomato dishes kissed by the southern sun. Food in Italy is slow, intentional, and shared with people you love. A ritual of nourishment that warms the soul as much as the body. Drifting deeper, fact 32 arrives with a soft breeze carrying lemon blossoms. The Amalfi Coast is famous for its terraced lemon groves where bright yellow fruit hangs above turquoise sea. Limoncello dash dash, a sweet lemon liqueur, is made slowly, carefully, using peels soaked in alcohol and blended with sugar syrup. It's often served ice cold. After long dinners, a final gentle sweetness before the night fades into stillness. And now, fact 31 glides in like ripples across a quiet lake. Northern Italy is home to the Italian lakes, Como, Maggiore, Garda, places where mountains rise softly from shimmering water. The lakes mirror the sky, reflecting pink sunsets and early morning mist. Villas sit among gardens filled with jasmine and wisteria, and boats drift lazily across the surface, as though time has loosened its grip. These lakes have inspired poets, painters, and dreamers for centuries. Fact 30 arrives with the subtle sweetness of grapes. Italy is the world's largest producer of wine, and yet many of its most beautiful vineyards are small family estates tended with gentle hands. In places like Tuscany, Abruzzo, and Piedmont, vines stretch across rolling hills that glow gold in the late afternoon sun. The rhythm of the seasons, pruning, harvesting, resting, creates a pace of life that feels beautifully slow and natural. As we drift onward, Fact 29 echoes like quiet footsteps through ancient stone. The town of Matera in southern Italy is one of the oldest continuously inhabited places on Earth. Homes carved into limestone cliffs, soft stone stairways, glowing lanterns illuminating cave dwellings that people have lived in for thousands of years. At night, Matera looks like a city made of candlelight and moonlit stone, silent, ancient, and dreamlike. Fact 28 arrives with a gentle flutter of pages. Italy gave the world countless great writers. Dante, Petrarch, Calvino, Eco, and its history is woven with stories that shaped the Western literary world. Sitting in an Italian piazza with a book and a small cup of coffee feels almost like participating in that tradition, letting centuries of storytelling settle quietly into your evening. Now, Fact 27 glows like a warm Tuscan sunset. Italy's countryside, especially places like Tuscany and Umbria, is known for its serene landscapes, rolling fields of golden wheat, lines of slender cypress trees, stone farmhouses with terracotta roofs. At dusk, the hills turn pink and lavender, and the world feels soft and deeply peaceful. It's a place where even silence feels rich. Fact 26 carries us to the soft creak of boats tied to shore. In Venice, beyond the famous canals, are the quiet islands of Burano and Murano. Burano, known for its lace-making tradition, is filled with brightly colored houses, reflected in still waterways. Murano has been producing delicate glass art for over 1,000 years, crafted with slow precision in glowing furnaces. These islands move at a slower rhythm, a dreamier one. Fact 25 comes with the soft ringing of church bells. Italy has thousands of churches, from tiny chapels in mountain villages to grand basilicas filled with golden mosaics, and the scent of old incense, stepping into one, often brings an immediate sense of calm. Cool stone underfoot, candles flickering softly, and sunlight falling through stained glass windows in quiet colors. They are sanctuaries, not only of faith, but of peace. Drifting onward, fact 24 arrives like the soft rustle of fabric. Florence, the heart of the Renaissance, is filled with art and architecture that changed the world. But what many people don't know is that the city feels surprisingly gentle at night. The Arno River reflects golden lights. Bridges glow softly, and the streets move at a calm, steady pace that invites you to wander, with no destination at all. Fact 23 brings with it the warmth of home cooking. In Italy, family recipes often go back generations. Dishes prepared on Sundays, handmade pastas rolled slowly, sauces simmered for hours, and tables filled with laughter and stories. Mealtime is connection, comfort, and care. The kind of ritual that relaxes the spirit and anchors the heart. Now, fact 22 steps in quietly, with the fresh scent of pine and mountain air. Italy's Dolomite Mountains are some of the most peaceful landscapes in Europe. Jagged peaks rise into soft clouds, and meadows bloom with wildflowers in the summer. Hiking trails wind through forests, where the only sounds are your footsteps and the distant ringing of cowbells. It's nature at its calmest and most grounding. Fact 21 arrives with delicate sweetness. Gelato, Italy's famous frozen treat, is smoother, silkier, and more flavorful than regular ice cream. Made with fresh ingredients and churned at a slower speed, gelato melts softly on the tongue. Even the act of strolling through town with a gelato in hand feels like a slow, simple pleasure meant to be savored. And now, fact 20 settles gently into view, like a gondola drifting under a low bridge. Italy's small mountain villages, places like Cortina, Ortisei, and Aosta, carry traditions that have lasted centuries. Wooden chalets, flowered balconies, and winding paths that lead to quiet churches overlooking valleys. The air smells of pine and fresh bread, and life moves peacefully, guided by the rhythms of weather and seasons. These villages feel timeless, like places you could rest in forever. As we continue drifting through Italy, you may feel your breath softening, your mind floating a little more freely, as though the journey itself is gently tucking you in. Italy has a way of slowing the world around you, and as we move toward the final 19 facts, you might feel that same stillness settling into your chest and shoulders. Fact 19 drifts in with the scent of warm olives and rosemary. The Mediterranean diet, so often associated with Italy, is considered one of the healthiest in the world. It's built on simple ingredients: fresh vegetables, olive oil, grilled fish, herbs grown in sunlit gardens. Eating this way is not just nourishment. It is a rhythm, a way of life, slow, balanced, like the gentle sway of the sea. Fact 18 arrives with the echo of footsteps on ancient stone. Rome, known as the Eternal City, has layers of history stacked beneath your feet. Every corner can reveal something surprising. A fragment of an aqueduct, a quiet courtyard, a fountain whispering stories from centuries past. Walking through Rome at dusk feels like wandering through time itself. Fact 17 brings us to the murmur of waves, lapping softly against old volcanic shores. Sicily, the largest island in the Mediterranean, has its own distinct culture. Greek, Arab, Norman, and Italian influences, woven together like a tapestry warmed by the sun. Mount Etna rises above it, all quietly breathing its slopes covered in vineyards and wildflowers. It's a place where history and nature move hand in hand. Fact 16 drifts in with the delicate smell of truffles. Italy, especially the Piedmont and Umbria regions, is rich in these rare, earthy treasures. Truffle hunters walk through forests at dawn, with trained dogs who sniff out the underground gems. It's a tradition rooted in patience, quiet observation, and deep connection to the land. Fact 15 arrives with soft candlelight and the hum of conversation in the background. Italians are known for la passeggiata, an evening stroll taken after dinner, often through town squares, lit with warm golden lamps. It's not about exercise. It's about winding down, connecting, letting the day fade away gently, the same way you are doing now. Fact 14 appears with the gentle creak of wooden barrels. Italy produces an astonishing array of cheeses. Parmigiano Reggiano, aged for years, creamy burrata that melts instantly, pecorino made from sheep's milk, gorgonzola, taleggio, each region offering its own gift. Cheese in Italy is not just food, it is heritage passed down with care and quiet pride. Fact 13 steps in with the faint rustle of fabric in the wind. Italy's fashion houses, Milan especially, shaped much of modern fashion. But beyond the runways, Italy is filled with small artisan workshops. Tailors, shoemakers, leather workers. Crafting, this island is known for some of the clearest seas in Europe, soft white sands and hidden coves carved into cliffs. In some regions of Sardinia, people famously live extraordinarily long lives. A blue zone of peaceful longevity. Perhaps it is the sea, or the food, or the quiet strength of community, or maybe all of it together. Fact 10 glides toward us with the soft sound of oars dipping into quiet water. Venice's gondolas, iconic and dreamlike, are crafted with extraordinary care, each made from multiple types of wood balanced perfectly to glide smoothly through the canals. A slow gondola ride at night under lanterns reflecting on the water feels almost like floating inside a dream. Fact 9 arrives with a faint metallic ring. The sound of ancient tools. Italy is home to the world's oldest known operational bell foundries, places where massive bronze bells are still poured using traditional methods dating back centuries. Hearing a church bell in Italy feels like hearing history resonate through the air. Fact 8 comes with the fragrance of roasted coffee beans. Italy's coffee culture is beautifully simple. Short, strong espresso enjoyed standing at a bar, warm greetings exchanged with baristas. The moment taken not for caffeine, but for connection. Coffee in Italy feels grounding, like a pause woven into the rhythm of life. Fact 7 drifts beside us. With the shimmer of moonlight on open water, Italy is almost entirely surrounded by sea, and its coastline stretches for nearly 8,000 kilometers. From rugged cliffs to calm sandy beaches, the shoreline offers a sense of freedom, a reminder of how soothing the sound of waves can be. Fact 6 arrives with the earthy smell of vineyards after rain. Chianti, Barolo, Brunello, Prosecco. So many wines known across the world. Yet the magic lies in the small villages, where winemakers rise early, walk through their vines, touch the leaves, and feel the season's mood. There is serenity in knowing that nature decides the pace. Fact 5 brings with it the quiet awe of standing beneath a grand dome. Italy is home to more UNESCO World Heritage Sites than any other country on Earth. Cathedrals, palaces, archaeological wonders, each one a chapter of humanity's story, preserved in stone and sunlight. Walking through them feels like stepping into a still moment, frozen beautifully in time. Fact 4 drifts in. With the warm, comforting smell of freshly baked bread, Italian bakeries fill their towns. With the scent of focaccia, ciabatta, and loaves crisp on the outside and soft on the inside. Even this simple daily ritual reminds you that Italy finds beauty in the everyday. Fact 3 glows softly like lanterns over a quiet street. Italy's piazzas, open squares where people gather, talk, sip espresso, or simply sit are the heartbeats of their towns. Whether grand or humble, a piazza is a place of community, a space where life unfolds slowly and naturally. Fact 2 approaches with the gentle sound of pages turning. Italy's role in the Renaissance changed the course of art, science, and thought forever. The quiet work of painters, scientists, architects, centuries ago still shapes the world we live in today. There's something deeply peaceful in knowing that creativity can echo for ages. And finally, as your breath becomes soft and rhythmic, we arrive